Paul Church from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. Welcome to another episode of Groovy Tuesday. How are we all doing? Get comfortable on my chair. I shall waffle for a little bit because I know it takes a while for people just to tune in, find the station, so to speak, and join the party. We're on the Groovy bus again today, working with Linda's lovely layered Christmas tree. How is everyone today? It was very nippy this morning weather-wise, but the sun's out now, so it's nice and bright and fresh. What's the weather like with you? We got sunshine. Yesterday was, it was really wet in the morning, and then it sort of cleared up in the afternoon, and then it got a little bit wet again. Hopefully you can hear me, and I'm not waffling to myself. There we go. Good morning, Guy. Good morning, Karin. There we go. Lorraine. Beautiful. Lovely to have your company again. So I think that was my sound is good. Thank you, Stuart. Stuart is in the room with you today. So if you have any questions, then he's there to answer them. And I'm sort of, there we go. Talking of the design team, there's a lovely Josie in the room. Who else we got there? We've got Karen. Good morning, Karen. Jacqueline, Sally, Anne. The names just go up and up and up and up. It's lovely to have so many friendly faces in the room. In a way, I wish I could see you all, but maybe you don't want me to see you. Depends where you're tuning in from. I know last week we had some people sort of out having breakfast in different supermarkets and fast food chains. So good morning, Ken. So it's lovely to have everybody's company again today for another Groovy Tuesday. It's all systems go here at Clarity Towers. A busy week ahead, and an even busier week next week for our annual parchment retreats with Barbara, Linda Williams, Lynn Jackson, Josie Davidson, myself. We're just working through all the projects that the ladies have been creating for your pleasure. Hands up, who's coming to the parchment retreat at the spa next week? We've got Monday and Tuesday, which is fully booked, and then we have Wednesday and Thursday. Now, there is some spaces available if anybody's interested, and I'm sure Stuart will pop the link up for you. But you can always give Janine a call, and she'll give you all the information, all the whereabouts and everything else. It's all starting to come together. So let's have a look. Anyone saying they're coming? Karen Smith's coming. Yes, I knew Karen was coming. I was going through the list of attendees over the 4 days. Lots of familiar names on there and some new names as well. So really looking forward to that. And I hope those of you are coming are too. So it's sunny in Wisbech. Is it Wisbech or Wisbeach? I know it's Cambridgeshire, isn't it? I suppose is it Wisbech? You can't tell me though, can you? Because you'll just put the same spelling in and then it's down for me to pronounce it. Carol in Reigate, looking forward to the retreat on Monday. Nahid's coming, loads of lovely ladies and Ken popping along to our parchment retreat at the Spa Hotel in Tunbridge Wells next week. Really looking forward to that. So is it 10 o'clock? Just gone 10 o'clock. Okay. So what's been going on at Clarity Towers the past week or so since I was with you? So last week, obviously we did Groovy Tuesday. Then I headed up to TV Land for the one-day special using Linda Williams' Build a Reef collection. Really, really popular. So pleased. And I know many of you at home would already have had that collection. So maybe it's time to dig it out and get creative. Because often, back in the day when I used to craft, I'd buy stuff and then something new would come along and it just get pushed back to the cupboard, push it back in the cupboard, and then you forget what you've got and then you buy it again because you see something different with it. I'm sure many of you already have that lovely collection from Linda, or maybe if you missed out when it first went on TV, you took advantage of the one-day special. So that was last Wednesday and Thursday. Then Barb was in the Shack Review Thursday of last week with those beautiful doodle flower frames. And then yesterday in the Shack with Barb, using those perfect pearls. They're so magical. They really, really are. And because they're a powder, you can do so much more of them, which Barbara was explaining about yesterday. So that was the week gone by. The week coming up, obviously Groovi Tuesday today. Barb's back in the Shack on Thursday with the beautiful Pergamano Pop-It postcards. Yeah. And the perfect pearls. Wow, all those P's. Pergamano Pop-It postcards with the perfect pearls. Then straight after the Shack on Thursday, Tina's on Create and Craft at 11 and 3, and with some of her beautiful designs, the Christmas elements, I believe. Well, I don't believe, I know. The Christmas element designs. And then after that, it's all steam ahead for the parchment retreat. So yes, really looking forward to that, as I keep saying. Okay, so should we have a bit of a recap? Maybe you're tuning in for the first time. If you are, welcome. Where have you been? But I know I can see a lot of the names. Jane Telford's in the room. She's been here quite often. Our lovely Jane. And so yeah, right. So let's have a recap. So we've been working with another of Linda's two designs, the layered Christmas tree and the beautiful stocking. And as always, Linda has put so much detail on these designs. And we've been working through the Christmas tree over the past couple of weeks on our coloured parchment. And we've been breaking it down. And this is the piece that we've been sort of working towards. See this lovely Christmas tree. And you'll notice how the gradient of the colour gets darker as it gets to the top. And that's because we've been doing it in individual layers. Now, that was the whole sort of idea behind the concept. But if you're new to Groovi, then you can just trace out the design exactly how it comes, and you've got a beautiful Christmas tree. Now, we also do the lovely, this is Mr. Dave on his big old platen press. We do our lovely Christmas tree cards as well. And if I turn this over, you can see that's what Linda has attached her piece of artwork to. And we also have coordinating card blanks for the stockings. So same principle, lovely cards, and they stand up as well. There we go, there we go. See, so they stand up. And the Christmas tree, let's stand this one up. Gently does it. See? So you've got dimension, but you can have them flat as well. Let's just pop those to one side. Let's have a look at some inspiration. Let's start with the tree first. This was the one that Jane Telford created, and this was using our designer papers. And last week I showed you how you could, let's see if I can get this, how you could use the Groovi plate to emboss the outline. So I did it on the stocking, and I also started on the Christmas tree. Okay, so if you want to know how to use your paper on these particular Groovi plates, then you can go back and watch last week's Groovi Tuesday. It was towards the end because I nearly forgot to showcase that. And this is using our new companion papers. Beautiful. I mean, look at those colours for Christmas. Really lovely. So that was a piece that Jane created. And then we've got another piece by Linda herself with her lovely little snow family. Remember we said that this would be great with the elves and the gnomes jumping out. And someone said, oh yeah, look, it's holding the mistletoe. Little legs are sticking out. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then again, that one is on a card blank. This one here by Linda has been done, and the pattern on this one, what Linda's done, she's used our multi-needle tools, various different ones. So you've got the heart multi-needle tool in the middle, the teardrop one, and then that one I think is that 4 or 5, it could be 5 in a circle, or the flower one. So we've got that one from Linda. This one, I don't need to look at who this has done this one. This one's been done by Francis in a very traditional style. And for those of you that joined Craft Along with Barb with the Christmas Treasures, would have seen how you can create that beautiful colouring using the Groovi plate. And then finally, I really love this one, Glynis. This one is just, so instead of taking the outline of the Christmas tree, Glynis has created an aperture and used our lovely Pergamano parchment poppets behind it. I mean, that is pure dedication in relation to that beautiful grid work. See, when I saw it, I better double check this. Yeah, it's Glynis. See, when I see something like that, I automatically think of Josie. But yeah, Glynis's beautiful grid work in the background. And it's weird because you have to look at it twice to see that. I don't want to see if I lift this up. See how, look. So Glynis has pico cut the inside rather than the outside. Okay, so that's the lovely Christmas tree. And then we have some samples of the stocking, which I'm just going to bring in now. Linda Williams using our lovely teal parchment. The teal with the white embossing looks absolutely lovely. And that's using another card blank on there. Another one by Linda. And Linda's taken their toys and they're coming out the top of the stocking. Just like you'd expect toys to be coming out the top of your stocking. Another one by Linda there. This one here by Glynis. Can you see that sort of just by changing the colour of the parchment, exactly the same designs. There's a slight few variations on the pattern, but it's the same plate. Uses the teal and the light teal, and this one uses the pink and the light pink. Okay. Then we have the next piece by Josie. And Josie's taken the outline and then infilled it with various different sentiments. Not from this plate. Where's she got the plates? It's from the border plate that comes with the stocking. That's right. We've got some lovely little funky greetings in there to decorate that. And the lovely big Nordic looking star, which is just there. And then finally from Carol Pankstello, she's taken the nested square extension frame, the toys popping out behind it. So really, really shows different ideas on what you can do with it. And the design team, they do such a fantastic job of interpreting the various different designs. And the time that they put into it is just unbelievable. So have a look at the Clarity Matters blog, because every Sunday there's a new step-by-step tutorial. Stuart will pop the link up for you if you're not sure what the Clarity Matters blog is. So Grace does that on Saturdays and Sundays. So on Saturday, it's a Saturday share. So she goes through Facebook, Groovi Worldwide and Clarity Worldwide, chooses some of your beautiful artwork that you've been creating, and then posts them into the blog. And then on Sunday, one of the design team do a step-by-step with pictures and writing, and Grace puts that together and gives you a sneak peek of what's coming up in the week ahead. So that always goes live. I think they both go live at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Saturday morning and 8 o'clock Sunday morning. So make sure you check those out. Okay, are we ready to get in the groove? Okay. So we're working on the Christmas tree. and what we're going to need for today's session. So you should already have your designs all traced out. Okay, and what we've done is we've taken, so this is the complete tree, then we've done the next layer, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And when I say layers, what we've done, if I position that one over the top, you'll see that we've just missed out the bottom skirt, and then we turn it around, turn it the right way around, and then we've missed the next two out, etc., etc. And what this does is it gives us our individual layers. So let's bring this in. This is what Linda has kindly already created. Okay, so all fingers and thumbs today. I put hand cream on. I should have put hand cream on. Can't pick anything up. So you can see the different layers, but they all work beautifully as little trees as well. Okay, and so we can see we get smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, and what we started to do last week was to introduce some white work. Now, sometimes when you're working with coloured parchment, you think, oh, surely I can't get the intensity of the white work. You can, and there's two ways of doing it. If you want a real sort of intense colour, then what you can do is remove the colour from the back of the parchment first. Okay, but so I showed you that last week. Let's pop this to one side. So I showed you last week on the back, I took our eraser pencil and took some colour out. But then we started to build up our white work. Let me grab a white piece of card and pop that underneath. It really doesn't show, does it? Because we went on very lightly. I mean, you can see the beads. We've started to come together on those. So what we're going to need for this session are number one, number two Groovi tools in the starter kit. Then I'm going to use a 4.5 and a 6mm Linda's Best Friend ball tool. Then I'm going to use the black mat that comes in the starter kit and a cello bag that the plate comes in. Really focus. So this is for those of you that have got the starter kit and you want to carry on with your bus journey and do some white work. Now I know many of you at home will also have the Pergamano pink mat. So it's all about having choices. Okay, so we already made a start last week on the first layer. So this is what we're going to need. Okay, and we'll just gather our bits together, top up our tea, coffee, water, orange juice, whatever beverage we're having at 10:15 this morning. And then I think we'll get going. What I'd like to do during this hour is do all of our white work and maybe make a start on our picot cutting. Okay, now don't all say no, I'm not doing any picot cutting. This is easy. Okay, now when I say it's easy, I mean obviously it's easy for me because I can do the picot cutting, but when you look at the designs that Linda has created, okay, with the shape of the tree, it's quite a simplistic shape in design. And what that means is that if you want to replicate this piece that we're heading towards, but you haven't gone that far in your bus journey yet, in relation to picot cutting, then the design is really easy that you can cut out with a normal pair of scissors. Because when we bring the pieces in that Linda's done, you'll notice that she's just done the picot cutting around the bottom edges. Let me bring one of these in really close. Let's just pop these bits to one side. Okay, pop those safely over there. It'd be easier for me just to come up to the camera. There we go. There we go. So you can see just where the white work is, that's where the picot cutting's done. And that's the same for each of the different layers. It's only the bottom area, that, so to speak, that has been pico cut. Because what we're doing is we're layering up the different pieces. So it'd be a bit of a waste, really, if you pico cut all of that round, spent the time doing that, only to lay that on top and cover it all up. Okay. So again, we have the choices. And for me, we're going to try a couple of different ones. So we're going to work on the back of our parchment. Again, I'm going to grab my Groovi guard. Okay, who's got my Groovi guard? Jane, have you got it? I bet someone's got my Groovi guard. Luckily, I have two. I'm sure I got it out this morning. Or I saw it anyway. Doesn't mean that I put it on the table. Okay. So last week we started to build up the layers on there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit now so we can come in really closely. So I need to come over this way. There we go. Easy does it. There we go. So hopefully you can see. Jane says she hasn't got my Groovi guard. No, I'm sure you haven't, Jane. So you can see now the difference. Can you see the difference in the colour of the green parchment? If I bring that one over, this one hasn't had anything on it. And then this one, you can see where we've made a start. Okay. Right. So let's carry on with this. And what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the 4.5 Pagmano tool. Okay. And you can see, there we go, at the end of the tool, it has the little numbers. And what we're going to do first is we're going to do this ribbon. So I'm going to turn it so it's comfortable for me. I'm going to take my Groovi guard to lean on, and I'm putting the ball, the middle of the ball, on the line. And then I'm just gently flicking away. And I'm just doing it in gentle pressure. Now I can feel that I'm going too heavy. Where's my bit of plastic gone? There it is. Uh-oh, that could have been dangerous. Okay. And then we're just going to gently stroke the parchment. So now when I turn this over, I mean, I can see it already on the back. So you can see how now it's starting, it's definitely whiter than this one. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back over. Let's have a look. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the bows. So I'm going to start here, and then I'm just going to come inside. I'm not coming all the way in with the ball tool. I'm gently going around. Can you see the difference? Yeah, you can see the difference, can't you? How this one now is starting to go whiter. So if I come on this one, and just gently does it. So when we turn that over, there we go. You can see it's definitely starting to become whiter. Okay. Then we're going to do this little bit here and come in like so. And then on here, we're just going to touch the edge of the, what would you call those? The tails of the bow? Yeah, I think towel is the right word. Tail, not towel, as in bath towel. Yeah, nice. And then I'm just going to gently come over a little bit more on this side. I'm now going to go to my number 4 tool on the starter kit, and I'm going to do a little piece in the middle. Okay, so let's turn this over. Yeah, you can definitely see that now, can't you? And again, this isn't finished. This is sort of probably this, I think this must be the 3rd layer we put on. Okay, and turn back over. I'm now going to go back to my 4.5, and I'm going to do the tails of these ribbons. Some people prefer to go away, not literally go away from the line, and some people prefer to come towards them. It's what you get. But for me, the Groovi guard definitely makes a difference, because not only is it holding my parchment in place, but it's also acting as a focus for the ball tool. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit there, and what I'm doing is I'm moving the parchment. Okay, so once I feel comfortable, the way in which I'm holding my hand, it makes sense. So just gonna, again, the middle of the ball tool is starting on that line, and I'm just pushing away. And I've done all of the bottom of the towels. Okay, so we'll turn that over now, and you can see how we're starting to build up. Okay. No need to apologise, Elizabeth, if you're late. It doesn't matter. You can join at any time. There's no detention in this class. Okay, so now we're going to repeat, still using the 4.5, like so. And what I'm going to do all of the bows on this side. So I'm ignoring that one. And like so. Who's given this a go? Who has completed their Christmas tree? I bet some of you have, haven't you? So now I've done this side of the bow, I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to come in from this side. I mean, if you're new to Groovi, then it works beautifully with clear parchment as well. But to me, sort of Christmas tree's green, so it just made perfect sense to use the green parchment. Okay, because it saves a lot of colouring in as well. Lorraine said it'd be a great detention. It sure is. Doing Groovi, it's not a punishment, is it? No. Okay, so now I'm going to go with the number 4 Groovi tool. And I'm going to do the centre of the bows. Just like so. Do you remember? Up and down, left and right, round and round. See, I do it automatically now without even thinking about it. So Helen's working along with me. Excellent. I hope you're going to share what you've done on Groovi Worldwide, Helen. It'd be lovely to see what you've been creating. Josie's working on secret stuff and listening. 2 things at once, Josie. Wow. Chrissy's working with me, or trying to be as good as you. It comes with practice. It really does. So I'm now I'm sticking with the number 4 Groovi tool. I'm now going to go back in over the lovely beadwork. Up and down, left and right, round and round. So should we have a look to see the comparisons between these ones and these ones here? Okay, let's have a look. There we go. You can see, can't you, the brightness. Hopefully, yeah, you can definitely see the brightness between these ones and these ones here. Okay. So I'm going to turn that over, and then we're going to carry along doing our beadwork. Up and down, left and right, round and round. Now, do you remember what maybe you didn't remember, what I find when I'm working with circles is that I always get a black area on one side of the circle. And I'm sure if I was to hold the tool more upright, that wouldn't happen. So what I tend to do is I'll do it all in one direction this way with the parchment. And then I'll turn the parchment so that the tree is facing upwards and go over it again. And I'm sure there's probably a technique to ensure that you don't get that dark area. Maybe I'll ask one of the experts next week on the parchment retreat. So, because I can't hear anyone shouting at me saying, "Oh, you need to do it this way." Tina's made 3, but they need some improvements. They're getting loads of tips. Excellent. I'm sure, Tina, they're perfectly beautiful. We are our own worst critique, aren't we? Critique. Okay, so you notice that the Christmas tree is upside down. It's not the camera. So now I'm going to turn around, and I'm now going to go back over those beads. Up and down, left and right, round and round. Just like so. See, for me, I suppose, what do I enjoy about parchment craft? I think for me, there's several different elements. One is tracing out that design and getting a beautiful, crisp design every single time and being able to replicate that. Okay. 2 is the white work. Now, I'm not patient, but for me, it allows me to sort of slow down, really slow down. Because if I'm tracing out a design, I can go fairly fast, but that's not the whole idea behind the Groovi parchment craft. It's all about enjoying it. So definitely the white work slows me down because I have to think what I'm doing rather than not think when I'm tracing out a design. Okay. And then also there's the colouring aspect of it. Now have a look at this area here. I digress slightly. Can you see? You probably can't. Let me come in. Whee! There we go. It's still nowhere near. Let me grab a piece of what Linda has done just to show the difference in the whiteness so far. Okay, so there's still plenty of work to be doing on these layers to achieve the result that Linda's. Now I'm guessing, knowing Linda, she'd probably put about 8-9 layers on there. But maybe we will do that over a period of time. Maybe that'll be your homework. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back, we're going to start on the second layer, because by the time we've gone all the way around all the different layers, number one will be ready to go again. Well, I think it will anyway. So I'm going to take the 4.5 again, Groovi guard. Let's go to the, I'm going to do the tails of the ribbon first, remembering that the ball tool, the middle of the ball tool, has to start on the line. Move it along and repeat. Now, as far as I know, there's no rules to say I've got to do all of the bow, then do the next bow. I don't think there is anyway. I just, the way that the parchment is, this is what is working for me. And I suppose it's the same when we're working with Josie's grid plates, going all direction one way first when you're picot cutting, and then turning it round and going in the next direction. So we're doing this side. Everybody seems to be late today. There's no need to apologise. What else? Why is everyone so late today? What's going on? Am I missing something on the news, or we're just all leading busy lives at the moment? I try not to listen or watch the news, although I do hear it on the radio when I come in of a morning. But I try not to. I try to make sure I get to work just before the hour so that the radio's off as I pull up. I suppose in a way we need to know what's going on, don't we? We can't close it all out. Okay. So now we're starting to put our base layer on our next level. And now we're going to go in and do the beading. So for that, I'm dropping down to the number 4 ball tool from the starter kit. So Helen was late because the decorators arrived at 10 and you had to make them tea. Fair enough. That's a fair point. Up and down, left and right, round and round. Up and down, left and right, round and round. Just like so. And also, do you notice that this isn't moving? What I'm doing, it's like a little conveyor belt, isn't it? I'm the Groovi guard is giving me my area in which to concentrate, and then I'm just sliding it along underneath. Because I'm very comfortable in the position that I'm sitting. So we're going to go along. So it doesn't take long once you get going to do your first base layer. So let's now swap round to the next one. And since I've got the number 4 tool in my hand, we'll do the beads first. I can't believe that it's October already. I know we're on the 11th, but these last few months just seem to have flown by. Yeah, and I suppose it's weird. It doesn't feel like October. I think because of the weather, because I think it's still quite mild for this time of year. And it's only of a morning and of an evening when the sort of temperature drops. 4.5. But I did last night, I must have been feeling cold last night. I did order myself a electric blanket. I really don't like getting into a cold bed. And with all the energy savings and everything else, they reckon it's more cost effective to heat the bed for an hour or so than it is to heat the room. So there you go. So I ordered myself an electric blanket. I remember electric blankets back in the day. I know when I used to go and stay at my nan's when I was younger, she never liked to put the heating on. And when I'd stay over, it was sort of like getting into a toasty bed with the electric blanket. That was, isn't it funny how something like that just brings back memories? Yeah. So electric blankets always remind me of my nan. Okay. So who at home? You're all at home. A hot water bottle would be more cost effective, but would it? I mean, I haven't gone into too much detail, but boiling the kettle is one of the most expensive things, isn't it? So I suppose, yeah, you're only boiling the kettle for however long the kettle takes to boil. So, but I'd need a load of hot water bottles, so I'd have to keep boiling the kettle. We shall see. We shall definitely see. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the number 4 tool. Who's been practicing their white work? Who's trying it for the first time, maybe? There we go. It costs 8p to boil a kettle if it's full. Thank you, Jane. And I think it depends on the electric blanket. I think I read it was like 1p or 2p or something to have the electric blanket on for an hour or 8 hours. I could be completely off. Don't quote me on any of it. But I was reading it last night. Okay, so now we're moving on to our next layer. Slurp a coffee. There we go. So lots of people have got hot water bottles and also hot water bottles, electric blankets, cats. Yeah, my cat sleeps on the bed with me. She tries to get under the cover sometimes. I think when she gets a little bit too cold, she snuggles under. And then I have to be careful I don't roll over and squidge her. But she'll soon let me know. Or she'll sort of lie above my head on the pillow, which I suppose is good being bald. It keeps the heat in that way, doesn't it? We're going to do the bows. Okay. See if you just get into a lovely little routine with your white work. Also, this is a good, keeping the Groovi guard in one place is good for keeping a focus on the camera as well. Okay, so who's got any top tips for keeping warm? So we've got hot water bottles, we've got electric blankets, cats and dogs, I've seen bed socks. Any other top tips for keeping warm? Did I read somewhere about as long as your feet are warm, then the rest of your body stays warm? Is it that psychological thing? Back to number 4 tool. Let's share our top tips on socks and jumper. Just one sock or 2 socks? Helen. See, I don't like wearing socks in bed. It's weird. My feet feel contained. Is that strange? Probably not. What's that? So Chrissy has had no heating for 3 weeks. Down to workman. Hopefully back on tomorrow. She's used hot water bottle, blankets downstairs, and a very expensive lamb's wool blanket bought in Spain on top of your quilt. There you go. Blankets on top of the quilt. That's a good idea. Mo's got a Oculus Quest. Oh, it's a virtual reality. Right, okay. I wondered what. I thought it was some new heating gadget. Ken's wife warms her cold feet on him in bed. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so now we're coming around to the final little parts of the trees. Warmers over your wrist. Is that also like when you're really hot and you run your wrists under a cold tap? That's meant to cool you down. Or on the back of your neck. Is that the same type of thing? What other ideas can we come up with to keep warm? Not necessarily just in bed, but Mary's got a husband who's like one big hot water bottle. Just snuggle up. Oh, that's sweet. Does he agree though? Excuse me. Okay. So going round. We're nearly there. And this will be interesting. When we come on to the next one, I've taken the colour out using an eraser pencil. So we shall see if there's a difference in the whiteness. Okay, final one now. And for this one, these are small little bows. I'm going to play it safe and go with my number 4 tool rather than the 4.5. I think, if I remember rightly, did I colour these with white pencil last week to show an alternative? I think I did. It's all coming back to me now. I'm just gonna turn it around. I mean, it's not really cold just yet, is it? Well, I don't think it is. But a nice throw while you're watching TV can help. What's it all snugly back? You can get heated blankets now to sit on the sofa. I don't know whether I think a blanket works, but okay. So let's have a zoom out now and have a look at what we've done. So we can see the full picture. Okay, and zoom out slowly. There we go. So we've now put, apart from this one here, you can see the difference in the whiteness. And this is definitely just a first layer. So now what we can do, we can go in and we can go back over, because ideally you'd want to leave it a little bit longer. You'd want to leave this overnight before going back in again, because the parchment would definitely have relaxed more and it will stretch better and become whiter. But we're doing Groovy Tuesday, so I'm going to carry on. So I'm going to zoom back in again. Let's see which way. So I'm going to go in on that one. If I take this as a focal point, there we go. Just so I can get the camera in the right position. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Now I'm going to go with the number 4 Groovy tool and go back over the first one. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little bit of resistance from the parchment. That could be because I'm going on too quickly. Well, I know I'm going on too quickly. So I'm just going to give it a wipe with the tumble dry sheet. Okay. Up and down, left and right, round and round. In the middle, I missed that one. Just like so. Okay, moving it along. Let's move the parchment. Keep in the middle. Okay, so now let's go on the bottom of the bow, the towels. Okay. You can definitely see, yeah, you can definitely see how it's starting to come together. Move it along that way. So what we're doing, we're just concentrating on the bottom of the towels of the bows. Slide it along. Okay, I'm going to ask the question now. Hands up. I know we're only on the 11th of October. Hands up who has made all their Christmas cards this year. Who's finished and ready to write them and send them when Royal Mail isn't on strike? I bet there's going to be somebody in the room that is super organised and made all their Christmas cards already. Come on, share. Helen's made about a third. That's good. That'd be, I suppose, if I only send 3 and I've made 1, that'd be a third, wouldn't it? That doesn't count though, does it? Definitely doesn't count. Jane hasn't. Jane, I'm sure we've definitely made plenty of Christmas cards, but not to send to anybody just yet, have you? You've been helping with their prep for TV shows. It's funny, isn't it, how we start on Christmas when we do the TV back in June, and then come December thinking, oh, I don't want to make another Christmas card. Beryl's made 6. Well, it's a start, Beryl. It's a better start than what I've done. What else we got? Karen's made half of hers. Jacqueline started but not finished yet. yeah, I knew it'd be too early, but I thought there might have been somebody in the room being super organised. Still have some I made last year. Did sort of go a bit mad making them. Well, that's good. There you go. Plenty of time. And you know what? With Groovi, it's achievable now, isn't it? Being able to make beautiful Christmas cards with parchment, the Groovi system definitely makes a difference. If I was having to make a parchment card for Christmas traditionally, it'd probably take me all year just to do one. Okay, should we have a look now, see how this is starting to come out? There we go. We can definitely start to see the difference. And because I've gone down to the number 4 ball tool, what it does is it concentrates the whiteness a little bit more as well. So what we're going to do is carry on onto our next layer, and let's see if we can see the difference on that one. Chrissy says she finds that she doesn't want to part with them once you've made them. No, I get that. I totally get that. I suppose for me, if I was making parchment cards, even though it is a lot more achievable now, they would definitely just go to special people that would appreciate the work that's gone into it. I mean, like my nieces and nephews, teenagers, they wouldn't appreciate the time and effort that's gone in them. They're just really interested in what's inside. But I would make them a stamped card. Or would I? I don't know. I suppose if you're a die cut card, I would definitely nieces and nephew die cut cards because they're quick and easy to do. And is that wrong that you're sort of, I don't really want to invest the time? No, see, that's not the right way, is it? It's Christmas is all about giving, but time just disappears, doesn't it? I mean, look at today. I mean, it's 5 to 11 already. I could easily spend another hour getting carried away with this. Definitely. So I think we've covered everything of what's coming up ahead. I'll just recap for those of you that relate to the party today. On Thursday at 10 o'clock, we're in the Shack with Barb, and she's going to be colouring in the beautiful Pergamano pop-it postcards. And then straight after the Shack, Tina is on Create and Craft at 11 and 3. Then there won't be any Shack or Groovi Tuesday next week because we have our annual parchment retreats at the Spa Hotel here in Tunbridge Wells with the lovely Linda Williams, Josie Davidson, Lynn Jackson, Barbara, and myself. Projects are beautiful. Well, you wouldn't expect anything less, really, would you, from the likes of Linda and Josie and Lynn Jackson. I'm going to be Josie's assistant this year. The Queen of Grids. So, yeah, I'm going to be helping Josie this year. I'm looking forward to that. Having a catch up with everybody. Nice to see a lot of familiar and friendly faces. Okay, I've done that one, That's current. And then on Friday, well, before the Parchment Retreat kicks in, we have our craft along with Linda Williams on Friday evening at 7 o'clock. Same time, same place as you're finding us now, on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, using set 3 of Linda's amazing Christmas treasures collection that we've been releasing every month. There is a section on our website that will give you a list of, I mean, if you've ordered the plates and you've received the plates, then you'll have an ingredients list of what you'll need to craft along. But maybe you just want to craft along with some different designs. On our website, under the Moments of Clarity section on the front page, there is a page created of all the different bits and pieces that Linda is going to be using. This time, well, not this time, Linda is doing the craft along, and this time I'm going to be in the room, making sure you all behave. So I'm going to be producer and director, just like Barb is normally. It's Barb's mum's birthday on Friday, so yes, I'm going to step in for that one. So I'm looking forward to that. Who knows, maybe Linda will give away some of her secrets of what's coming up on the retreat next week. So, yeah. So that's, Friday at 7 o'clock. So that'll be good. And then, let's say, next week we then have our Parchment retreats. And don't forget to check out the Clarity Matters blog. Full library of beautiful step-by-steps, and I know there's a couple of step-by-steps from Glynis and Jane using this Christmas tree plate. So I suppose in a way, if you want to jump ahead, you can have a look to see what else you can do with it. So I'm just going to finish this one section off, and then we will stop. So I would say I could literally sit here all day doing this, but I've got lots to be getting on with. So thank you once again for your company. I'll be in the shack with you on Thursday with Barb, and then I look forward to welcoming and seeing many of you next week at the Parchment Retreat. Now, if you're still interested, if you think, oh, have I missed out, there's still some spaces available on the Wednesday and Thursday. So you can either check it out on the website, just search for retreats, or give the lovely Janine a call, and she will give you all the information that you need. Okay, let's have a look at this. I'm going to zoom out now so we can see how it's starting to come together. Which way? Out. Need to go that way. There we go. So you can see now. Ignore that one. That one's a real extreme because we took the colour out and used white pencil. But you can definitely start to see now the 3 different. We've done this one, and then I've just been doing that one, and I've still got that one to carry on with. So as always, thank you so much for your company. Carry on with your Christmas tree if you've got the Christmas tree. We've got a special offer with the tree and the stocking together. Check it out on the website. And I'll be back in the room, well, not literally, I'll be monitoring the room on Thursday for the Shack with Barb. So until then, take care. Enjoy the weather if you can. Go and get electric blankets, some woolly socks, hot water bottles, whatever. And I will see you all again in 2 weeks' time. Take care now. Bye-bye.